lecture we have studied about the human nervous system. That is, human nervous system is divided into three parts: central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, and autonomous nervous system. And also we have studied the protection given to the central nervous system, that is by the cranium, vertebral column, meninges, etc. We also studied the cerebrospinal fluid in the CNS. Now in this part we are going to study the human brain, that is first part of the central nervous system. So about the human brain it is also called as the encephalon, and the study of human brain is called as the encephalogy. Next, here human brain, it is a soft and whitish part. As compared to other animals, human brain is a large size as well as it is slightly flattened in structure. Now if you consider the weight of the human brain, it is about 1300 to 1400 grams. म्हणजे माणसाच्या मेंदूचं वजन किती असणार आहे? साधारणतः 1300 ते 1400 ग्रॅम्स एवढं असणार आहे. And its volume is about 1300 to 1500 cc. Next, a single human brain has 30,000 millions of the neurons. 30,000 millions of the neurons. आता मागच्या पिरियडला आपण बघितलं न्यूरॉन्स मीन्स द नर्व सेल्स, आणि ब्रेन मध्ये आपण कन्सिडर केलं तर फक्त ब्रेन मध्ये जवळपास 30,000 मिलियन एवढ्या नर्व सेल्स आहेत. म्हणजे आपण इमॅजिन करू शकतो की ह्युमन ब्रेनची कॅपॅसिटी किती जास्त आहे. ते सिंगल ह्युमन ब्रेन मध्ये किती न्यूरॉन्स असणार आहेत? इट इज अबाउट 30,000 मिलियन्स ऑफ द न्यूरॉन्स. नाउ नेक्स्ट पॉइंट, here we are going to study about the parts of the human brain. First part, it is the forebrain. Second part is the midbrain, and third part is the hindbrain. Now, forebrain is also called as the prosencephalon. Midbrain is also called as the mesencephalon, and hindbrain is called as the thrombencephalon. Next, again there are the subparts in the forebrain, midbrain, and the hindbrain. We'll study about that. Forebrain, it has again three parts: olfactory lobes, cerebrum, and diencephalon. Forebrain again has the three parts, that is olfactory lobes, cerebrum, and diencephalon. Next, olfactory lobe, it is also called as the rhinencephalon. Olfactory lobe is called as the rhinencephalon. Cerebrum, it is called as the telencephalon, and diencephalon is called as the thalamencephalon. Next, midbrain. Midbrain again has the two parts. First is the crura cerebri, or it is also called as the cerebral peduncle. Next, second part of the midbrain is the corpora quadrigemina. Now, hindbrain. Hindbrain again has the two main parts, that is metencephalon and myelencephalon. Metencephalon has two parts, cerebellum and pons varolii, and myelencephalon has the also known as the medulla oblongata. So these are the parts of the brain. Forebrain again has the three parts: olfactory lobes, cerebrum, and diencephalon. Midbrain has the two parts: crura cerebri, and next is the corpora quadrigemina. And hindbrain has the main three parts, that is cerebellum, pons varolii, and the medulla oblongata. ऍक्च्युअल हे लक्षात ठेवायला थोडंसं अवघड आहे, पण जर सारखं रिपीट केलं तर आपल्याला हे नावं इझिली लक्षात राहतील. पण परत एकदा रिपीट करूया. फोरब्रेन हॅज द थ्री पार्ट्स: olfactory lobes, cerebrum, and diencephalon. Forebrain has the three parts: olfactory lobes, second is the cerebrum, and third is the diencephalon. Midbrain again has the two parts: crura cerebri and the corpora quadrigemina. And hindbrain has the three parts again: cerebellum, pons varolii, and the medulla oblongata. So these are the parts of the brain. Now next point, we are going to study about each and every part of the brain, that is olfactory lobe to the medulla oblongata. In the forebrain, first part is the olfactory lobe. Now we are going to study about the olfactory lobes. Here, olfactory lobes, they are lies on the ventral side of the brain. Here, in this diagram, we can see the ventral side of the brain. What do you mean by the ventral side? Suppose this is the brain, and this upper part is called as the dorsal side, and the lower side is called as the ventral side. So here in this diagram we are drawn the lower side of the brain, that is the ventral side of the brain. In this ventral side we can observe this yellow color structure down, which are called as the olfactory lobes. So olfactory lobes, they lies on the ventral side of the brain. In this ventral view we can see the olfactory lobes. There is a pair of olfactory lobes. These are the small bodies, and this olfactory lobe has the two parts. Here we can see that this top is called as the olfactory peduncle, and this enlarged bulb-like structure is called as the olfactory bulb. So in this olfactory lobe has the two parts. That upper swollen part is called as the olfactory bulb. In this diagram you can see that this is the olfactory bulb, and the stalk-like structure is called as the olfactory peduncle. This stalk-like structure called as the olfactory peduncle, and this olfactory peduncle merges into the temporal lobe of the brain. This olfactory peduncle merges into the temporal lobe of the cerebrum. So this is structure of the olfactory lobe. Now function. Olfactory. The word olfactory, it is always related to the smell. म्हणजे olfactory हा शब्द आला की नेहमी स्मेल हा ह्याच्याशी ते रिलेटेड असतं. इथं olfactory lobe is also related with the sense of the smell. Here if we compare the olfactory lobe of the human and olfactory lobe of the other animals, then olfactory lobe of the human, it is very small as compared to other animals. So sense of smell is poorly developed in the human. म्हणजे काय तर olfactory lobe इथं आपण बघतोय हे olfactory lobe ते बाकीच्या animalच्या तुलनेत ह्युमन मध्ये जरा कमी डेव्हलप आहेत, स्मॉल आहेत, आणि त्यामुळे माणसाचा सेन्स ऑफ स्मेल ह्या बाकीच्या ऑर्गॅनिझम पेक्षा थोडा कमी असणार आहे. आता आपल्याला वेल माहिती असलेलं एक्झाम्पल म्हणजे डॉग्समध्ये सेन्स ऑफ स्मेल हायली डेव्हलप असतं. म्हणजे त्यांच्यामध्ये काय असणार आहे समजलं तर त्यांच्यामधले olfactory lobes हे हायली डेव्हलप असणार आहेत. इव्हन फिशेसमध्ये पण olfactory lobes हे एनलार्ज असतात, आणि त्याच्यामुळे त्यांचा सेन्स ऑफ स्मेल ॲज कम्पेअर्ड टू ह्युमन्स जास्त असतो. ह्युमनमध्ये मात्र सेन्स ऑफ स्मेल ॲज कम्पेअर्ड टू अदर ॲनिमल्स कमी आहे. का कमी आहे? बिकॉज ऑफ द स्मॉल साइज ऑफ द olfactory lobes. Here cerebrum is the second part of the forebrain. Cerebrum, it is the largest part of the brain. Here in this diagram you can see that this total part, this oval shaped total part is the cerebrum. So cerebrum is the largest part of the brain, and it forms 85% of the brain. In this diagram, this lateral view, we can see the total cerebrum. This total oval shaped part, it is known as the cerebrum. So this cerebrum, now cerebrum, here in the lateral view we see the cerebrum, but that cerebrum, it is formed from the two lobes that are called as the cerebral hemispheres. Single cerebrum, that cerebrum, it is formed up from the two cerebral hemispheres. In this ventral view we can see that this is one cerebral hemisphere and this is the second cerebral hemisphere, and that two cerebral hemispheres are separated by this longitudinal fissure. So cerebrum, it has two cerebral hemispheres. This is the first and this is the second cerebral hemispheres. And that cerebral hemispheres are separated by a longitudinal fissure. But that two cerebral hemispheres, they are connected to each other by a large commissure that is called as the corpus callosum. In this diagram, in this LS of the brain, we can see this fold, and that fold is the corpus callosum. That corpus callosum held two cerebral hemispheres together. So that corpus callosum, it is largest commissure which held two parts of the cerebrum, that is cerebral hemisphere, together. Now the cerebrum, it is hollow part, means it has the cavity, and that cavity or the ventricle, it is called as the lateral ventricle. Here in this LS of the brain, we can see the cavity present in the cerebrum, that is called as the lateral ventricle. And as we have studied earlier, that lateral ventricle is filled with the CSF, that is cerebrospinal fluid. That lateral ventricle is filled with the cerebrospinal fluid. The roof of the lateral ventricle, that is called as the pallium. Roof of the lateral ventricle is called as the pallium. Now, each cerebral hemisphere now has the outer part is called as the cortex. Outer part is called as the cortex, and the inner part is called as the medulla. Each cerebral hemisphere has again two parts. The outer part is called as the cortex and inner part is called as the medulla. Now, cortex is formed up from the grey matter and medulla is formed up from the white matter. That grey matter, it is made up of the cytons of the neuron. In last lectures, we have studied cyton, it is the cell body of the neuron, and in the grey matter, all cytons are there. And in medulla, white matter is there, and that white matter has the axons of the neuron. In previous lectures, we have studied cytons and axons. These are the two parts of a neuron. And in grey matter, cytons are there, and in white matter, axons are there. So, each cerebral hemisphere has the two parts. Outer part is called as the cortex, which is made up of the grey matter, and grey matter has the cytons. Inner part, it is called as the medulla. It is formed up from the white matter and it has the axons. Now, next point, that is cerebral cortex. As we have studied, cerebral cortex is the outer part of the cerebral hemisphere, and it has many foldings, sulci and the gyri. Here in this diagram, we can see that the surface of the cerebrum, it is not plain. It has many foldings, and that foldings are called as the sulci and the gyri. If depression is there, it is called as the sulci, and elevations are there, then they are called as the gyri. म्हणजे जर खाच असेल तर त्याला आपण सल्कस म्हणणार आहे, आणि उंचवटा असेल तर त्याला आपण गायरस असं म्हणणार आहे. आणि ह्या सेरेब्रमवर जो काही आउटर पार्ट आहे त्याच्यामध्ये सगळ्या सल्सा आणि गायरा आहेत, म्हणजेच बरेचसे फोल्डिंग्स आहेत, आणि त्या फोल्डिंग्स मुळे the surface area of the cerebral cortex has increased, and as surface area of the cerebral cortex has increased, the capacity of the cerebral cortex also has increased, and it is related to the intelligence. That's if sulci and gyri has increased, then surface area increases, and as surface area increases, intelligence also increases. So in human brain there are many foldings, and so brain capacities are increased, and as brain capacities are increased, we have the more developed brain than the others. म्हणजे थोडक्यात समजायचं तर ह्युमन ब्रेन आहे त्याच्यामधला हा सेरेब्रल कॉर्टेक्सचा एरिया आहे, पार्ट आहे, तो बऱ्याचशा फोल्डिंगमुळे वाढलेला आहे, आणि त्यामुळे ह्युमनचा ब्रेन हा बाकीच्या ब्रेनपेक्षा वेगळा आहे, डेव्हलप्ड आहे. त्या फोल्डिंगमुळे त्याचा सरफेस एरिया वाढला आहे, आणि त्यामुळे ह्युमनचा इंटेलिजन्स किंवा ब्रेन कॅपॅसिटीज वाढलेल्या आहेत. We have studied sulci and the gyri are present in the cerebral cortex, but there are the three deep sulci are present in the cerebral cortex. That three deep sulci are central sulcus, second is lateral sulcus or the sylvian sulcus, and third is the parieto-occipital sulcus. And because of these three sulci, the cerebrum, each cerebral hemisphere is divided into different lobes. First lobe is the frontal lobe, second lobe is the parietal lobe, third lobe is the occipital lobe, and fourth lobe is the temporal lobe. Now, fifth lobe is there, which is called as the insula or the insular cortex, which is present deep inside the lateral sulcus. So, we can see this sulci and the lobes in the lateral view of the brain. In this diagram, we can see the different sulci and the lobes. So here pink color structures. These are the sulci. This is the first sulcus, that is the central sulcus. Now this is the second sulcus, which is called as the parieto-occipital sulcus. This is parieto-occipital sulcus and this is the lateral sulcus. So these are the three main sulci. First is central sulcus, second is lateral sulcus and third is the parieto-occipital sulcus. म्हणजे ज्या मुख्य तीन sulci आहेत, sulci म्हणजे आपण मगाशी काय सांगितलं होतं, खाचा. तर ह्या तीन खाचा इथे पिंक कलर मध्ये दाखवल्या. पहिली कुठली आहे? सेंट्रल sulcus, दुसरी कुठली आहे? लॅटरल sulcus आणि तिसरी कुठली सांगितली? parieto-occipital sulcus. आणि ह्या तीन sulciमुळे सेरेब्रल हेमिस्फिअरचे वेगवेगळे पार्ट पडणार आहेत, लोब्स पडणार आहेत. हा सगळ्यात वरचा लोब आहे, त्याला आपण फ्रंटल लोब असं म्हणणार आहे. दिस इज द फ्रंटल लोब. नेक्स्ट दिस इज द parietal lobe. Now below to parietal lobe there is a occipital lobe and this lobe is the temporal lobe. Next insula or the fifth lobe, it is present deep near to the lateral sulcus. So these are the lobes. So central sulcus divides the cerebral hemisphere into frontal lobe and the parietal lobe. Lateral sulcus divides the cerebral hemisphere into frontal lobe and the temporal lobe. And parieto-occipital sulcus divide the cerebral hemisphere into parietal lobe and the occipital lobe. And that fifth lobe, it is present deep inside the lateral sulcus. That is called as the insula or the insular cortex. So this is about the cerebral cortex and which having the sulci and the lobes. Here we are studying the cerebrum. Now next point is the functional areas of the cerebrum. Now in the functional areas, three parts are there: sensory area, association area and the motor area. Sensory area means the area which get the sensation from the sense organ, that is called as the sensory area. Here sensory area is lies in the three lobes: parietal lobe, temporal lobe and the occipital lobes. Here we are studying the functional areas in the cerebrum. Here first sensory area or the functional area is the sensory area. Sensory area means it receives the impulse from the sense organ, that is the sensory area. First thing about the parietal lobe. In parietal lobe, the sensation of the temperature, touch, pressure, pain, etc. received in the parietal lobe. Means all the sensation from the skin, they are received in the parietal lobe of the cerebrum. Next, there is a Wernicke's area also there, which is also called as the intelligence center. And that intelligence center, it receives the meaning of the words, written words or the spoken words. That is called as the Wernicke's area of the intelligence area. So in the parietal lobe there is the general sensational area, that is sensation from the skin, temperature, touch, pressure, pain, etc. Next there is another area, that is the Wernicke's area of the intelligence area. It is essential for sensation of the meaning of the written or the spoken words. म्हणजे आपण जे काही बोलत असतो ते शब्द किंवा जे लिहिलेले असतात ते शब्द, त्यांची जाणीव किंवा त्यांचा अर्थ समजणे हे कुठल्या भागात होणार आहे? तर वर्निक्स एरिया, आणि त्याला आपण इंटेलिजन्स सेंटर असं पण म्हणतोय. आता दुसरा सेन्सरी एरिया कुठे आहे? टेम्पोरल लोब मध्ये. टेम्पोरल लोब ऑफ द सेरेब्रम. इट हॅज द sensory area for the hearing, smell and the taste. Next, third sensory area lies in the occipital lobe. Occipital lobe has the area for the vision. So sensory area lies in the three lobes: parietal lobe, temporal lobe and the occipital lobe. Now next is the association area. Association area means in this association area of the cerebrum, all the sensory impulses, they register their impressions, then interpretation of that impression is carried out and brain decide how to respond that sensory impulses. इन द असोसिएशन एरिया. म्हणजे काय, येणारे जे काही सेन्सरी इम्पल्सेस आहेत ते रिसीव्ह करणं, त्याच्यावर विचार करणं आणि रिस्पॉन्स काय द्यायचा आहे हे ठरवणं, हे कुठं घडून येतं तर असोसिएशन एरियामध्ये. आणि हा असोसिएशन एरिया चारही लोबमध्ये असणार आहे. चारही लोबमध्ये म्हणजे कुठला तर फ्रंटल लोब, पॅरायटल लोब, टेम्पोरल लोब आणि ऑसिपिटल लोब, ह्या चारही लोबमध्ये असोसिएशन एरिया असणार आहे. तर ह्याला तो मोटर एरिया. मोटर एरिया म्हणजे काय तर असोसिएशन एरियामध्ये डिसिजन घेतल्यानंतर, इंटरप्रिटेशन झाल्यानंतर ऍक्च्युअल रिस्पॉन्स काय द्यायचा आहे ठरलं कुठं असोसिएशन एरियामध्ये. पण आता ती क्रिया घडवून आणण्याचं काम आहे ते कोण करणार आहे, मोटर एरिया ऑफ द ब्रेन. म्हणजे ब्रेनने एखादा डिसिजन घेतल्यानंतर ती क्रिया घडवून आणायची आहे, कुठल्या कुठल्या ऑर्गनला घडवून आणायची आहे आणि ती कशी घडवून आणायची आहे हे कोण ठरवतं, मोटर एरिया. तर मोटर एरिया कुठे आहे बघा, मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम मोटर एरिया इज प्रेझेंट इन द फ्रंटल लोब ओनली. मोटर एरिया इज प्रेझेंट इन द फ्रंटल लोब. फ्रंटल लोब मधला प्री सेंट्रल गॅरसच्या वरचा पार्ट जो आहे त्याला आपण प्री सेंट्रल गॅरस असं म्हणणार आहे. त्याच्यामध्ये सगळे व्हॉलंटरी ऍक्टिव्हिटीज आहेत त्याचा मोटर एरिया असणार आहे. त्याच्या पुढे असणार आहे तो प्री मोटर एरिया. त्या प्री मोटर एरियामध्ये इनव्हॉलंटरी जे काही मोटार इम्पल्सेस आहेत ते कॅरी आउट केले जाणार आहेत. त्याच्यानंतर राहिलेला शेवटचा एरिया तो म्हणजे ब्रोकाज एरिया. ब्रोकाज एरिया म्हणजे काय तर मोटार स्पीच एरिया. मोटार स्पीच एरिया म्हणजे काय आहे तर आपण बोलत असताना मुवमेंट ऑफ द टंग, देन मुवमेंट ऑफ द व्होकल कॉर्ड्स, मुवमेंट ऑफ द लिप्स, हे सगळं कंट्रोल करणारा एरिया म्हणजे मोटार स्पीच एरिया. आणि त्या एरियाचं पण म्हणणार आहे ब्रोकाज एरिया. सो दीज आर द 3 motor areas which lies in the frontal lobe. So in this part we have studied the different functional areas of the cerebrum. First 3 functional areas of the sensory area, association area and the motor area. Sensory area means this area of the cerebrum that receives all the sensation from the sense organ. Parietal lobe receives the sensation, general sensation that is temperature, touch, pressure, pain, etc. As well as that parietal lobe has the Wernicke's area or it is also called as the intelligence area because this area is responsible for consideration the meaning of written or the spoken words. त्याच्यानंतर दुसरा आहे तो टेम्पोरल लोब. टेम्पोरल लोब it receives the sensation of the hearing म्हणजे ऐकण्याचं सेन्सेशन, sensation of the smell and sensation of the taste. म्हणजे टंग कडून येणार आहे, जिभेकडून येणार आहे सगळे सेन्सेशन कुठे येणार आहे टेम्पोरल लोब मध्ये येणार आहे. नोज नाकाकडून येणारे सगळे परत टेम्पोरल लोब मध्ये येणार आहेत. कानाकडून येणारे पण टेम्पोरल लोब मध्ये येणार आहेत. नेक्स्ट इज द ऑसिपिटल लोब. ऑसिपिटल लोब इट इज रिलेटेड टू द रेकॉर्डिंग ऑफ द व्हिज्युअल सेन्सेशन मीन्स कमिंग फ्रॉम द आईज. म्हणजे डोळ्याकडून येणारे सगळे सेन्सेशन कुठे रेकॉर्ड केले जाणार आहे in the occipital lobe. So this is the sensory area. Next, association area. As we studied earlier, association area means the area where that sensory impulses are registered, then that are interpreted and decision is taken how to respond that sensory impulses. म्हणजे काय तर आलेले सेन्सेशन काय आहे त्याचा विचार करून त्याला रिस्पॉन्स कसा द्यायचा हे ठरवणार आहे असोसिएशन एरियामध्ये. आणि ऍक्च्युअल रिस्पॉन्स घडवून आणण्याचं काम कोण करणार आहे मोटर एरिया. मोटर एरिया कुठे आहे फ्रंटल लोब मध्ये. फ्रंटल लोब मधला प्री सेंट्रल गॅरस आहे म्हणजे सेंट्रल गॅरसच्या वरचा भाग जो आहे तो काय करणार आहे व्हॉलंटरी ऍक्शन्स घडवून आणणार आहे. प्री मोटर एरिया म्हणजेच प्री सेंट्रल गॅरसचा पण पुढचा एरिया त्याला आपण म्हणतो प्री मोटर एरिया. तो काय करणार आहे इट कॅरी आउट द इनव्हॉलंटरी रिस्पॉन्सेस. आणि लास्ट सांगतो आपण ब्रोकाज एरिया. ब्रोकाज एरिया म्हणजे काय तर मोटार स्पीच एरिया. मोटार स्पीच म्हणजे काय तर बोलत असताना जे काही होणार आहे म्हणजे मुवमेंट ऑफ द टंग, मुवमेंट ऑफ द व्होकल कॉर्ड्स, मुवमेंट ऑफ द लिप्स, हे सगळं कोण घडून येणार आहे ब्रोकाज एरिया. दॅट इज द मोटार स्पीच एरिया. सो दिस इज अबाउट द फंक्शनल एरियाज ऑफ द cerebrum.